Alright, guys. Welcome into another episode. Who's on football? I know it's a weekend. I don't normally post, but if you guys are on Twitter, you will know that Mitch Cleary had put something up. Was that yesterday? I believe it was. Oh no, today. Sorry, or late last night. That Zak Butters, 4 weeks with the left over of the season. He had spoke to Port Adelaide about the idea of exploring a trade home. And I thought, well, why not Richmond? Or why not us? Why can we not attract a superstar of the calibre of Zak Butters? So I thought, let's talk about it. Now, why would we do it? I think he brings in that middle-age experience. So I'm pretty sure he's played over 160 games, and we know he's played finals. So we know he's a seasoned veteran. He's still I think he's 27. I know people will say it's the wrong age bracket, but we're looking at his best. Say he can play till he's 30, 33. That gives you 6 years, and you can't turn around and say that there's no way in 6 years' time Richmond shouldn't be competing for finals. And who knows, we could be doing a Hawthorn where we're down for 2 or 3 years, get some good draft some players in, and we start working our way up to the finals. You could sell Zak Butters on that round one. First game for him will be Richmond versus Carlton. 80,000 guaranteed to make it. Now the talks will be, is he going to want to go to Hawthorn, a Collingwood, a Geelong? We all know those three will probably have their hands in the cookie jar, reaching out to see if they're capable of getting Butters. I can definitely guarantee that they're probably the main attractions. Now, I just don't know if, because he has a year left to go on his contract, are any of those teams going to draw interest via Port Adelaide, via the draft, or players, only because this year it would be the best year for Port if they are to trade him. If you look at the draft, it is very South Australian heavy, like a Dyson Sharp, I'm trying to think of a couple other South Australians, a Sam Cumming. There's two powerful midfielders that are dynamic enough to change your team and your future, that you could get in this year's draft, and there's no go home factor, so you're eliminating that as well. So, what would Richmond give up? Is a good question. Would Richmond give up this year's complete hand of pick 3 and 4 for Zak Butters? Is that enough for Zak Butters? And it's a great question to have. I think if you're giving up pick in this year's draft, pick 3 and 4 for Zak Butters, who is of a producer, or as I recall, he's a vice captain at Port Adelaide, 100 plus 150 games, an elite midfielder, maybe one of the best midfielders in the competition. Yes, I know he can get tagged and get shut down. I think Ooze might be able to work a system out to have a way to help him out. He does address a lot of need of the speed. He's a very fast player, can kick goals, can go forward, and we do know he can go back and play in the back line. So he does address an all-round sort of player, not where you have Taranto and Hopper, where they're generally one-paced, and it's just hand to foot, and that's it. Which those two can go forward, but they kind of can't go back. They don't have the pace as of what Zak Butters does. And I think, I would give up 2 and 3, and it's hard. I battle with saying yes, because do Richmond need to wait another year and get 2 good years deep into the top 10 of the draft, and then that's when you hunt for free agents? I just wonder, is it hard to turn down a player like Zak Butters if he wants to come to Richmond, which is a big if. We can't guarantee that he's going to want to come to a club that's still rebuilding. I don't know who he went for growing up. Would not surprise me if it was Geelong. But Geelong has got their hands up for Charlie Curnow, so I don't know. And I know Rowan Marshall's requested a trade there as well, so that's another kettle in the fish. They would have to then sacrifice probably those two players. And they're probably going to have to give up 3 first-round picks. They'll have to give up this year, 2026 and 2027, and maybe a couple of players as well. Where I think you could sell to Port Adelaide, that we have the draft capital in this year's draft, and we could just hop out of this year's draft, only pick up Lewis Callaway and a Zak Butters. And I think it'd be a great idea because, next year is the last year of Prestia. You're not going to have Prestia. He's going to be gone. Broad's going to be gone as well. So there's 2 very senior leaders, and we don't even know if Lynch is going to go around. So that's 3 senior players gone. Just between those guys, there's close to 1,000 games out the door. It's more like, I think it's like about 700 and something games of senior premiership experience gone. Where then you bring Zak Butters in. I know it's not a Lynch or a Prestia or a Broad or what they bring to the club, but we all know Zak Butters is well respected and would be a hell of a player to have in our club. So let me know, guys, what you think in the comments below. Do you think Richmond should go after Zak Butters if he was to then ask for a trade? As it says here from Mitch Cleary's tweet, that all the Victorian clubs are holding a glimmer of hope that he'll ask Port Adelaide for another trade back home to Victoria. I haven't seen many people actually chat about this now. I don't know if it was because it was at 12:21 that it was brought up, and I don't know if anyone's decided to have that conversation. So it was very late last night, or early this morning technically. So I thought let's bring up this conversation and ask you guys. So as usual, guys, as the fans, please leave a comment below what you think, and if you would or wouldn't do it, and the reasons why you would or wouldn't. So, as well, as always, please hit that subscribe button. We are getting very close to 300 subscribers. Trying to get to the 500 by the end of the year. We have just hit 3,000 hours of watch time. So, thank you to everyone who does watch my channel and watch this big buffhead talk shit most of the time. And as I always say at the end of every video, stay safe and go Tigers.